Let's dive right into this explainer. Welcome to all of you out there who are, well, tarot curious. If you've ever felt just a little intimidated by tarot cards, or maybe you're just looking for a fresh way to tap into your own intuition, you are in exactly the right place. Our main goal today? Demystifying the tarot. We're going to strip away all that smoke and mirrors and show you how this beautiful historic system is actually one of the most practical, empowering tools you can use for deep self-reflection.
Here is our roadmap for today. We're breaking this down into 5 easy steps. First, demystifying the tarot. Second, choosing and cleansing your deck. Third, the anatomy of the cards. Fourth, reading basics and spreads. And finally, number 5, ethical tarot practice.
All right, part 1, demystifying the tarot.
Before we even think about picking up a deck, we really need to shatter those Hollywood crystal ball stereotypes. I absolutely love this concept from Biddy Tarot, which asks a pretty profound question. Why predict your future when you can create it? I mean, wow, right? That simple sentence instantly reframes tarot from some spooky, fatalistic fortune-telling trick into a dynamic tool for personal empowerment. It's not about giving your power away to a deck of printed paper. It is entirely about reclaiming it.
So let's really look at the difference here. On one side, you've got traditional fortune-telling. If you believe your future is fixed, like, say, a card tells you that you're absolutely going to buy a house in May, you might actually get complacent. You stop actively looking, and then you sit around wondering why nothing happened. That is hugely disempowering. But on the flip side, we have self-reflection. When you use the cards as a psychological mirror, they help pull your subconscious thoughts right up into your conscious awareness. They show you the patterns you're stuck in, which gives you the agency to actively create your future.
Moving right along to part 2, choosing and cleansing decks. Okay, now that we know what tarot actually is, you're probably ready for your very first deck. The sheer number of options out there can be completely overwhelming, but experts highly recommend starting with the original 1909 Rider-Waite deck, or at least one of its many modern clones. Why? Well, historically, it was the very first deck to have every single card fully illustrated, with distinct characters and scenes. Before this, the minor cards just showed, 4 literal cups on a page. The Rider-Waite imagery was designed specifically to prompt your intuition. The picture literally tells you what the card means, making it a highly visual and much easier way to learn the ropes.
Now, because physical objects absorb energy from, say, chaotic factories, dusty shipping warehouses, or just other people handling them, you're going to want to cleanse your cards before using them. You can pass the deck through the smoke of sage or incense, bathe them overnight in the moonlight, place a clear quartz crystal right on top, or, if you just need a really fast reset, simply knock on the deck 3 times with your dominant hand. Just a quick heads up though, don't let them directly touch salt, because that can actually damage the physical cards. Definitely don't want that.
After cleansing, it is time to bond. To initiate your deck, you want to imprint your own unique energy onto it, so keep it close to you. Carry it around in your bag for a week, keep it on your desk while you're working, or you could even sleep with it under your pillow. Although I do highly recommend keeping it in a soft bag if you do that, just so you don't wake up in a sea of bent cardboard. You really want to feel excited to shuffle it and play with it as you begin to connect with its wisdom.
Which brings us to part 3, anatomy of the cards.
So you don't get completely overwhelmed when you finally pop open that box, it helps to know exactly how the system is built. Every standard tarot deck in the world contains a total of exactly 78 cards. This is universal across the board. But those 78 cards are actually divided into 2 distinct sections.
Out of the 78, 22 of them make up what is called the major arcana. When you see a major arcana card pop up in a reading, you want to pay close attention. These cards represent major life events, overarching themes, karmic lessons, and big archetypes. Think of the Fool embarking on a brand new journey, or the heavy transformational energy of the Death card. These aren't about your morning commute. These represent the big chunky phases of your life.
The remaining 56 cards are the minor arcana. If the major arcana is the overarching plot of your life, the minor arcana are the daily chapters. They deal with day-to-day situations, passing feelings, and changing events.
And to make it even easier to digest, the minor arcana is divided into 4 suits, pretty much exactly like a regular deck of playing cards. Cups deal with your creativity and emotions. Wands represent inspiration and spirituality. Swords are all about the intellect and the mind. And pentacles ground us in material wealth and physical security. So as an example, if you pull a bunch of cups, you know the reading is highly emotional. If you pull a lot of pentacles, you're likely looking at a financial or career situation.
All right, part 4,
reading basics and spreads.
Now for the really fun part. And listen, you don't need to be a master to start reading right now. This simple 5-step process is literally all you need for a powerful 5-minute reading. First, create a sacred space by taking a deep breath and tuning in. Second, ask an open-ended, empowering question. Instead of asking a yes or no question like, will I get the job? Try asking, what do I need to know about my career path right now? Third, shuffle and pull a card. Fourth, look at the imagery and trust your first intuitive impression before you even think about opening a guidebook. And fifth, and this is absolutely vital, write your insights down in a journal. The true meaning often clicks into place like a week later when you're reviewing your notes.
When you're ready for more than just a single daily card pull, the 3-card spread is incredibly versatile and super beginner-friendly. The most popular layout flows naturally across the timeline. Card 1 represents past influences, Card 2 is the current situation, and Card 3 points to a likely future outcome based on your current trajectory. 3 cards are really just enough to tell a cohesive story without the overwhelming complexity of those massive 10-card spreads.
Now, as you shuffle, a card might come out upside down. In tarot, this is called a reversal. A lot of beginners instantly panic and think an upside-down card means a bad or opposite outcome. It totally doesn't. Reversals aren't doom and gloom, they just add a deeper layer of nuance. Depending on the context, a reverse card might mean the card's energy is currently blocked or delayed. It can mean the energy is internalized, so focused on yourself rather than the outside world. It might point to a shadow aspect, an excess or deficiency of a trait, or simply that you're resisting the lesson of that specific card.
But here is a truly liberating fact. You do not have to read reversals at all. They are entirely optional. Actually, some of the best, most experienced tarot readers in the world only read upright cards, pulling their nuance from the combinations and the imagery instead. So, if reversals are confusing you and stalling your learning, just orient all your cards upright before you shuffle, or just physically flip them right side up if they come out reversed. Do not let it block your progress.
Finally, Part 5, Ethical Tarot Practice.
Understanding the card meanings is really just one half of the equation. Approaching them with maturity is what actually elevates your practice. Whether you're reading for yourself, a family member, or a paying client, these ethical rules always apply. First, stick to your expertise. Unless you hold the appropriate degrees, never ever use the cards to give medical, legal, or financial advice, period. You must treat any information shared during a reading with the strictest confidentiality. When you read the cards, be honest about what you see, but deliver that truth with deep compassion. There is no need to be brutally harsh under the guise of telling it like it is. And finally, you have to leave your personal judgments and opinions at the door to remain an objective guide.
Ultimately, the absolute golden rule of tarot is to never take away the free will of the person you are reading for. If someone asks, should I quit my job? Your role is not to say, yes, the cards command it. Your role is to use the cards to explore the energies around their current job and the potential energies of leaving so that they can make their own empowered choice.
And that brings us to the end of our explainer. You now understand the basic structure of the deck, how to prepare it, how to pull the cards, and the ethics that guide a truly great reading. So the only thing left to do is to grab a deck, take a deep breath, and ask yourself, what story will your cards tell today? Dive in, trust your intuition, and go discover the magic hiding in your own subconscious.